The TVS Apache RTR 204V has always been one of our favorite bikes in the segment. Early last year, it got an update to comply with BS6, and that update also saw a minor redesign, particularly to the front end and to the graphics schemes. More recently, TVS added some features to this dual-channel variant's bag of tricks, and some of them we've never seen in this segment before. The first of these updates is to do with the suspension. Now, while this Apache still uses a conventional telescopic fork, it is now adjustable for preload. Every suspension system has a usable range of motion, and when you add load to the motorcycle in the form of a rider, luggage or pillion, the suspension compresses and it may eat into that range of motion, giving the suspension less room to move about. What preload adjustability essentially allows you to do is raise or lower the suspension so that it doesn't eat into that usable range. This system is also a great opportunity to fiddle around with the basics of suspension, like setting sag, which is how much the bike sinks under its own weight and with the weight of a rider. And while we're on the subject of adjustability, there is another element on the motorcycle that can now be tweaked for better ergonomics. This RTR 204V now gets adjustable brake and clutch levers. The second big update is that this Apache now has riding modes, 3 of them: Rain, Urban and Sport. Sport mode gives you access to all the 21 odd horsepower that this engine has to offer, with ABS being the least intrusive in this setting. In Rain and Urban mode, power is down by about 3.5 horsepower, with torque down by 0.7 Newton meters. The difference is in how the ABS intervenes. Unsurprisingly, the ABS is most intrusive in Rain mode, while Urban mode offers a middle ground between Rain and Sport. We tested both the acceleration and the braking in the different modes and found that the bike takes an additional 0.7 seconds to get to 60 km per hour in the lower power mode. However, that gap extends to nearly 4 seconds in the sprint to 100. On the flip side, running the bike with the lower power output in Rain or Urban mode did return better fuel efficiency. In our brake test, the Apache stopped nearly 2 meters later in Rain mode, while the distances in Sport and Urban were quite close to each other. The braking performance is better in general as well, with TVS having updated the system to offer better bite. In comparison to the BS6 model that we tested a few months ago, this Apache came to a halt from 60 km per hour a couple meters shorter. The rest of the bike remains largely unchanged. TVS has, however, refined the structural elements of the chassis, and this has resulted in a 1 kilo loss in weight. With this update, this Apache now costs only a couple thousand rupees more than it did before, making it great value for money. Recently, TVS also introduced these features on the single-channel ABS variant, and that bike costs just rupees 5,000 less. That isn't a lot of money, and in our opinion, you should consider paying a little extra for the added safety that this dual-channel variant brings.